Hello and welcome to DFS Coach Talk. Today is Wednesday, September the 28th, 2022. I am Joe Sarvati, affectionately known as Coach, and I am joined by the one and only Mr. Josh Crash Davis. Crash, how are you on this wonderful Wednesday, hump day, ready to get this week trucking here? And I know this is your last podcast until next Monday. What the heck?
Yeah, it's going to be weird not doing these podcasts with you every day, or almost every day the next several days. But I'll be back, Sunday afternoon, ready to get back into it on Monday. But yeah, taking a little bit of a break here, going out of town. So excited about that. Should be a fun weekend. We're going to be up in your neck of the woods in PA and Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, we'll have to double check and see if there's any way to connect. I would love to see you. So
yeah, it'd be nice.
Be cool touch base. Yeah, you never know. Oh, Friends Cup. I saw
one last time I had to get the
Russ had a wave to me as you were going by there. I knew it.
Yeah.
But anyway, on a somber note, I really thoughts and prayers to the state of Florida down there, by Tampa in that area. What a catastrophic storm. My God. Just hate to see that. So thoughts and prayers for anybody in that area or around that area. I know we have members from all over the country and all over the world. Actually, we have Australia, Canada, France, with different countries. But I don't know if we actually have any Floridians. So if so, hopefully they've been able to seek shelter and get safe, because, that does not look like any joke of a storm by any stretch.
No, it's definitely not. I was thinking we had somebody in Florida, but I can't remember who it was.
Yeah, I can't remember. I have trouble remembering that stuff. But as far as I'm concerned, by the way, I may sound sick and my throat sounds really lousy, but I'm not sick. I feel fine. It's just, I don't know if it's strained vocal cords. People have said I do too much talking on these podcasts. So maybe it's finally, maybe I'm proving them right.
Yeah.
So, never fret. I'm good anyway. So no problem there at all. I've got to comment on last night too. Talk about hilarious, man. I've ceased to refuse to embarrass myself by giving up on slates and then coming back to win. I don't know. I always preach fight, never give up, that stuff. I post all the GIFs and then I wave the white flag and give up like a big baby. Because, I've never had a night. I recommended 4 pitchers yesterday, Crash. All 4 of them got killed.
Mm-hmm.
How does that?
It was ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous. Like, the only pitcher that I played that did okay was Robbie Ray. Everybody else, like you said, they all got hammered. So
they got killed. And then just to rub salt in the wound, I had my 2 pitchers on the main slate. One was minus 2.2 and one was 2.2. So they combined for absolute 0. I couldn't believe it, man. I thought, you got to be kidding me. But somehow on Fanduel, we crushed it. I had 3 points for my Fanduel pitcher, 3, and somehow got 5 home runs and 178.2 points from my hitting squad.
Yeah.
But the reason I was being a baby and giving up was because I knew that we were going to fade at the end unless we had a miracle from the Astros. And it was in the 5th inning and a couple of goose eggs. And what happens? Bregman's homers, and then Pena homers. So, boy from Cali, is he in here yet? Yes. He said, Coach, I need to learn my lesson and not give up. So that's it. I'm not going to give up anymore. I'm staying until the last pitch, because DraftKings and Yahoo, I didn't do great, Crash, but Fanduel, we just hammered it. I was like 4X on Fanduel.
Yeah, it was really good. And very surprising because, like you said, when Carrasco, it was early. It was early in the night when he got
real early.
And you're thinking, there's no way. But then, every other bat, it seemed like, was hitting a home run. So it kind of made up for it. I mean, I've never had that kind of a night without a decent, pitching performance at least. You don't necessarily have to have a 50 or 60, but
no,
3?
not a 3.
So, yeah.
Oh, Lanny's in here. I knew Lanny was going to start trolling you, Crash. Lanny's.
Yeah, we'll win tonight, though. So,
yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sounds like a throwdown there, Lanny. But anyway, last night was fun. It was fun pulling that one out. I was so tired, though. I was really struggling to try to stay awake. That last game took forever.
Oh, yeah, I know. It was
My goodness. But, yeah, it was fun to pull that out. Hopefully, we see some more postings of some winners because it was my full Fanduel lineup that we gave out for the single entry that went for 181.2 with a 3-pitcher.
That's crazy.
So,
yeah.
Nuts. All right, I want to say hello to everybody. Nathan Feudy isn't screwing around anymore, Crash. He just got in here an hour and 15 minutes ahead and say, good night, everybody. I'm first one in. So,
oh, wow, yeah.
He didn't play around. Our man David Dulac tried to get in there first, but he was well behind Mr. Feudy. So shout out to both of you guys. Niles Simmons, what's going on? King of all trades. Bev, it's great to see you in here with us every day. Jumpin' Joe K is in here. JT, of course, our man boy from Cali. Niles Simmons. And guess what? I am going to finally do it right, Crash. Do you know that Todd lives for Sundays? I've called him Live for Sunday.
Oh yeah, Live for Sunday.
Like a dummy. So now I know it's Todd. I live for Sunday because he's a football fan. So I got it right now, Todd. I won't mess it up anymore. Who else is in here? I butchered somebody else's this weekend. They didn't even come back. They were probably so mad that I butchered their name. King of Smacks in here. All right. Glad to see you in here. DePrince. You tapped out. Did you tap out last night on the loss or what happened, man? I was hoping you were in there with me on FanDuel. Let's see who else. I think that's everybody initially here. So this is going to be, Crash, our new official time that we're going to try to do as many podcasts as we can for the rest of baseball and for the NBA season at 3:45 p.m. Eastern. So that is going to now be known as the DFS Coach Talk podcast daily time of 3:45 p.m. We've tried everything and we've figured out this is the best one. It's early enough to beat having to go against a million different podcasts. It's late enough that we get everybody home from picking up kids and doing all that stuff. And we still have enough numbers and lineups and ownership. So get used to this 3:45. Set your alarms, time your computers, Alexas, whatever, to that 3:45 slot. And I say that, and it's hilarious here, Crash, because tomorrow we're going to go at 3:00.
Oh, yeah.
Deb's filling in for Crash tomorrow, and she could not do 3:45. So we're going to be 3:00 tomorrow Eastern. And then the only time we'll ever move from 3:45, guys, is when we have so many early slate games that we don't, we'll miss the slate if we go late. So we'll generally do 11 a.m. where we have mostly day slates. We only have like 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks left in the regular season anyway. So that's where we stand on that. So anyway, hopefully that's as clear as mud for everybody. Yeah. So far, not a great group in here yet. I'm hoping people wander in and then I'm going to eat my words and have to move from the 3:45 spot then. How's that?
Sounds good.
All right. No, it does not sound good, Crash. Pay attention. Quit doing your homework now. You're like one of those crammers that studies it for the test 5 minutes beforehand.
Yeah, that's what I am. That's true.
I know you are. All right. So we're going to get into this slate. Also decided, you know what? Slates like this are just so awesome that we don't need to even talk about those first couple of games. It's a waste of time. Just don't play them. Focus on this 12-game main slate that starts at 12:05 because it's awesome. Are you ready to break this down, Crash?
I am.
All right.
We're skipping the early games, the 2 early games.
Yeah, not even going to bring them up because I'm saying don't play them. Let's pile drive, knock the living daylights out of this 12-game main slate because it's the main slate on DraftKings, Fanduel, and Yahoo. We'll usually touch on the earlier games if they fall on one of the slates that matter, but they really don't. So 7:05, my friend, Atlanta Braves, Washington Nationals. The total is 8.5. 5 implied for the Braves. Very popular stack today. 3.5 implied for the Nationals. It's 66 degrees in Washington and a breeze blowing in from left field at 8 miles an hour. Jake Odorizzi, 5.4K against Josiah Gray, 7.3K. What do you have in game one?
I have a few of the Braves. I've played them several times this week, and for whatever reason, Austin Riley's really been in a funk. So I figured one of these nights he's going to come out of it. But they've done pretty well for me. Some of the other stacks that are looking pretty popular, if you want to address that right now, I don't know. But
Sure.
One of them is Baltimore, and they came out with their lineup a few minutes ago. And it's not looking like what they've been putting out lately. There's no Rutschman. There's no Henderson. There's no Mullins. So
all the left-handers are sitting. That's what the deal is.
Yeah.
Well, let's go over stacks. You ask, you shall receive, my friend. DraftKings projected ownership on stacks right now, and it's spread out. So you don't have to sweat any like 30% stack here in Coors or Wrigley Wind or any of that baloney. So you don't have to stress it, but here's where it stands right now. Ownership projections, top stack being the Angels at 13.5, Boston at 13, Atlanta and Baltimore at 9, Oakland of all teams at 8, San Francisco at 7.5, and Minnesota 7. That's DraftKings. On FanDuel, Boston at 15.2 edges out the Angels at 15. San Fran at 11.5. Atlanta a little over 10. Then Baltimore that you just mentioned is at 9. Minnesota is at 7, and then it drops off the face of the earth. Yahoo, it's a ton more spread out. There's just no chalk stack. 10 for the Angels is number 1.
Wow.
Right at 9.8 is Atlanta. Behind them is Baltimore and Boston. That team, everybody's remembering the 9 million runs yesterday. San Francisco at 7, Philadelphia at 5.5, and then again, all real small digits. So no stress on the stacks today, man. I wouldn't even strain it. And if you like a stack, play it is what I think.
Yeah. There's nothing too crazy ownership wise.
So you think well, we'll get to Baltimore later. So let's focus Braves Nationals.
Okay. Yeah. So that's my take on it, is just a few of the Braves bats, and that's probably about it, really.
And Josiah Gray has given up more home runs than any pitcher in baseball this year.
Mm-hmm.
And so that certainly makes you want to pluck out at least a couple of Braves, thinking someone's going to go deep there. Right. And I'll probably do that. I don't want to spend a boatload there, but you can. For me, I'm going to try to get 2 or 3 Braves and not be, Acuna and Riley. So you spend all the money, or Swanson even, but maybe one of those guys mixed in with, I like Olsen today. I really like Olsen today.
Okay.
And Harris, d'Arnaud, I like today. So I think you can really go deep. And we said it all along, Rosario, Ozuna, and Arcia. By the way, great call. You called out Arcia, and he homered in the 9 holes. So again, that just proves what we said, though. If you're going to do the wraparound or any stacks on Atlanta, it makes a lot of sense.
It does.
Nationals, Odorizzi's bad. So if you're ever going to play a one-off national and hope you get, some good out of it, I wouldn't blame you. Abrams, Meneses, Voit, maybe Garcia, but it's
Yeah.
just hard to have any confidence in that those bats.
And on DraftKings, Odorizzi's getting a little bit of ownership too. So
yeah,
if you wanted to get a little contrarian, you could go to some of these Washington bats. I just don't know which ones I would go to. Maybe a Luis Garcia or a CJ Abrams going lefty righty. I like Thomas and Meneses more against lefties, so I'm not sure if I'm going to get to them. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Tough to have confidence in. All right, it's 7:07. We have the Yankees and Blue Jays. Total of 7.5 in Toronto. Dome expected to be closed. 3.89 implied for New York. 3.61 for Toronto. Garrett Cole 10.7K against Mitch White 7K flat.
I'm done waiting on Aaron Judge to hit his home run.
That means he's going to do it.
I know. As soon as I give up on him, that's when he's going to do it. But I can't be paying, $6,000 and $5,000 for 4 walks. It's just not going to work, So I'm not going there. I don't want to go to Garrett Cole against this lineup. I think it's a pretty tough lineup to go against, especially in Toronto. This game, I'm really pretty low on. I'm probably fading this game completely, honestly. So
wow, yeah. For me, Yankees are one of my favorite stacks. I love the Yankees tonight.
Okay.
I think Mitch White is not good. I really do. I don't like him. I think the Yankees. I still think they're just. I know all of this anticipation with Judge, but he's been such a professional, man, taking the walks and just doing what he's got to do. It's been fun to watch. It really has. And I like him. I'm going to try to get him in at least one lineup tonight. I mean, I really believe he could do it. And I know we've said that a few times, and 6.3 is not easy, but I'm going to try to get there. And I like some of the other Yankees bats. I know Rizzo's been on and off, but he got some hits for me yesterday. He's 5.2. But after that, though, Torres at 4.5. Donaldson at 4.3. Okay, wait a minute. We just had the Yankees lineup pop up.
Okay.
And it's wow. Okay, this is news. Judge leading off. Cabrera batting second.
Okay.
Donaldson's batting third. And Peraza cleanup today.
Wow.
What is this lineup? Harrison Bader fifth. Marwin Gonzalez sixth. Higgy's batting seventh, LaCastro eighth, and Hicks ninth.
So it's Judge and the scrubs.
Basically. Judge and the scrubs, basically, yeah. So now my Yankee stack that I thought I'd be getting a bunch of these guys, I still may go, but shift it around and get them even cheap. Now I can definitely get Judge because I can stack them with Cabrera, Donaldson, and Peraza. Yeah. And Bader too. I mean, those guys are cheap.
Yeah, so it may end up being in favor.
Yankee scrubs are going to come through for me today. I'm telling you. I like it.
May end up being in your favor, this move. So
I think it's going to really take a chunk out of their ownership too with all those other guys sitting.
Good point. I think so too.
But I'm still going there. All right. So on the Blue Jays side, I don't want to test fade here against Cole, but I don't like Cole that much. Not at that price anyway. 10-7's a big number. And he could strike a lot of guys out. There's no doubt. But, he gives up home runs, and you can hit home runs in that stadium. And, maybe a one-off, but, probably not going to, test too much fate just by not playing Cole, trying to, go contrarian on the Blue Jays side. All right, let's get to that game that you had mentioned because it's an important one. It's 7-10. There were 100 runs scored yesterday. Baltimore at Boston, 66 degrees in Boston with the wind blowing out at 6 miles an hour to right. The total's 9, 4.33 implied for Baltimore, 4.67 for Boston. Dean Kramer coming off that amazing game that he pitched the last time out, 6.5K against veteran Rich Hill, the lefty, at 5.7. So what you had mentioned about Baltimore, it's McKenna, Mountcastle, Santander, Aguilar batting cleanup, Hayes, Nevin, Mateo, Vavra, and Chirinos. So they have decided to say, forget the lefties mainly against Hill, and they've got 8 righties in this lineup.
Yeah, it's an interesting lineup. I initially kind of had some Baltimore and some Boston in my lineup, but then they've come out with their lineup and, it's changed. So I am going to try and see if Santander can hit 4 home runs in 3 days. He's been on a tear.
He was my hero yesterday.
Yeah. But outside of that, I don't really think I'm going to have anybody else from this game. I just don't feel like this is going to be 20-something run game 3 days in a row. Yeah,
I don't think so.
Yeah.
What about the Boston side, though? I know Kramer pitched his brains out the last time.
Yeah, I mean, I could see maybe some lefties, Devers, Verdugo, and Cassis. I think I probably would, look at if I was going to go to some Boston bats. But like I said, the odds of them scoring so many crazy amounts of runs, regression is coming, and I think it's going to come pretty hard.
Yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying, and it makes perfect sense. But both bullpens are completely obliterated on top of everything else. So if these guys can't go deep, it could get ugly again. I mean, this is one of those games where if it is, 9-2 or something in the 7th or 8th inning, after giving up 30 runs in the last 3 days, you could get position player pitching kind of scenarios. So. I find myself still wanting to get to this game. 9's still a respectable total. 66 degrees is still warm enough in Boston. I like some of these bats. I like some of the cheaper bats that are jumping in the lineup.
Right.
And then on the Boston side, I like some of those bats as well. So I wouldn't say I'm going to stack either side, but I could easily, be 2v2 here and have some representation, because I do think a lot of people are going to think like you are and say, they're going to step back. These lineups aren't as good tonight, but I still think there's going to be runs here.
Yeah, I mean, if it gets to what you're talking about, like with the position pitchers and stuff, I could definitely,
that's a wild call. I mean, that almost never happens, but
right.
In a scenario like this, it could.
Yeah. I mean, those bullpens have got to be pretty stretched out now. So.
Oh gosh, yeah. Just worn out, and they've been terrible on top of that. So craziness. I need to check. I have not looked one time at the chat. We got anything going on? Anybody new in there? No. Yeah, we got a lot more people jumping in. Hey, we're giving away a set of tickets today, guys. So if you haven't said hello, say hello, because when we get to that point, you don't want to not be in the randomizer. And I see, let's see, anybody else new come in? It says a lot more people are in here, but not a lot of people chatting. So say hello if you're in here so we don't miss you for sure. All right, let's get back to business.
Okay.
We've got the Miami Marlins at the New York Mets at 7:10. Game is played in New York, 67 degrees, no wind to speak of, total of only 7, only a 2.92 for the Marlins, 4.08 for the Mets. Jesus Luzardo, the lefty, 8.1K against Taijuan Walker, 7.9K for the Mets. You want me to go first here? Guy have a hot game.
This is my my pitcher is in this game, so
is mine.
Okay.
And I knew you were going to do it too, where I'm starting to be able to read your picks now. So if you don't play poker against me, because I got you. I know you like Taijuan Walker.
And
I do too. He's pitched 7 innings 2 times in a row against Miami and given up zilch, nada, and 17 Ks to boot. Yep. So 58 and a 26, and what else did he do here?
37, I think.
And a 37, yeah. I mean, So last 2 outings, no runs, a lot of strikeouts. He's been pitching well. And it's not just against this team. I mean, he's done exceptional against this team. He had a little hiccup against Milwaukee last time.
Right.
But, you know, that was as a tough game. A couple of bloop hits and one blast in there, but pitched great against Pittsburgh, and then just back on September 11th. So a couple of weeks ago, 58 banger against Miami right there. So I like him here because he's so underpriced, Crash. He's 7,900 on DraftKings, 87 on Fanduel, and 42 on Yahoo. So I will say for our Yahoo players, I'm probably not going to go to Walker on Yahoo because he's not as much of a value as he is. He's more than likely going to be my DraftKings SP2 and not quite make the number 1 spot on FanDuel. And he's going to get edged out by my top 2 pitchers because of pricing. So it gets a little, you know, when we recommend on here, I always want to, you know, expand on a little bit, because when I'm posting lineups and then winners and everything, I don't want people to say, well, hey, coach, you said you were playing this guy everywhere. I'm not. You know, it's a lot of it has to do with pricing and the site. And, you know, I play DraftKings, FanDuel, and Yahoo every night. So it's where they fit in there. But I do agree with you with Walker. I think he's in a terrific spot. I watched the painfulness of them getting hits in the last game, the Marlins, and they stink. And I'll say it again, they double stink. The home run the guy hit down the line was a joke. It scraped the railing going over. They're just awful. And I think Walker, another 7-inning gem like he's done against them in the past, is I feel great about.
Yeah, I mean, I like him on both DraftKings and FanDuel. I'm trying to keep from going to double-digit pitchers is kind of my philosophy today. Okay. They have more expensive bats. So, yeah, he definitely fits that category, especially like you said, below 8K on DraftKings. That's just a steal.
Yeah. All right, well, let's talk about the ownership there, because that's why I'm excited, Crash. I knew you were going to like him.
Yeah.
The general public doesn't agree with us, though.
Right.
On DraftKings right now, let me give you the ownership. Nola's 45, so he's chalk city. Verlander 29, Woodruff 23, Kirby 22, Cole 16, and then Taijuan Walker 15, Odorizzi 10. So again, we're pretty contrarian there. On FanDuel, well, the one pitcher site, Nola pretty heavy, 37. Verlander 15, which is low for him. 12 for Woodruff, which is also low. Cole's under 10. When do you think you see Cole under 10 at this stage? Kirby 7, then Walker at 6, and then it drops off. And then Yahoo, like I was talking about, gets a little sticky on Yahoo because the pricing is a little odd today. So Nola is dominant there at 40, Woodruff 28, Cole 24, Kirby 18, Verlander 18, and then Luzardo and Musgrove at 11. So much different on Yahoo than the other two.
Yeah, definitely. But that's kind of where I want to go. At least as of right now, is with a little bit different, a little bit cheaper pitchers. So,
are you going to back it up with any Mets bats?
As of right now, I don't have any Mets bats in my lineup. I respect Jesus Luzardo. He's a decent pitcher, so I don't really want to go there against him.
Yeah, and Mark Canna's batting cleanup. Where's Deb when you need her? 4.1K cleanup hitter, Mark Canna. Could be a nice spot for him.
Could be.
All right, let's go on to the 7:40 game. It's the Chicago White Sox and the Minnesota Twins. This one is a cool temperature, only 57 in Minnesota, so a little help for the pitchers. Slight breeze, not much of anything blowing in from right. The total's only 8, and it's split right down the middle at 4. It's a pick'em game, so Vegas has no clue on this game of anything. Cueto's 7-1. Josh Winder is 6-8. Any play for you here?
No. I was thinking that he had pitched last night, but I just remembered it was Bailey Ober who ended up being the top pitcher on the whole slate. That was
He went nuts.
yeah. I don't think, I don't know, but I don't think that the White Sox are going to struggle that much again. Their playoff hopes are over, but
no Moncado in there either.
Yeah,
Moncado.
yeah. But I still don't think they're going to struggle as much as they did last night. They got shut out last night 4-0. I don't see that. But I don't think I'm going to go to them, and I don't think I'm going to go to the Minnesota Bats either. This is a pass game for me.
Yeah, I watched the White Sox a few times because I've been one-offing, Jimenez or Moncada, especially, and some of those guys. And you just look at the body language on that team. That's when, if I was an owner, I would fire my manager because they have quit. That team is just done quit, man. I know they were expected to win that division and there were high hopes, but they just look like they can't wait for this season to be over. And I don't trust anybody on that squad. So I'm not playing White Sox, and I've been off the Twins since the day Buxton got hurt. We've talked about that for 6 weeks, but they never hit consistently. So I don't like either pitcher enough to go that route, but I said that about Ober yesterday, and look what he did. But this is 100% pass game for me as well, Crash.
Yeah. I mean, when they got swept by the Tigers, that pretty much said, we don't care.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
And that's when you fire some coaches, because
they're not going to care, then why should we, is kind of how I feel about that. So
yeah, inexcusable. Anybody? Lanny, the boy from Cali, still in here. How does decaf kick in? Lanny still wants to know, Mr. Boy from Cali, how does the decaf give you a spike of excitement? Lanny, guess what, man? The next game is the Lanny Job-led St. Louis Cardinals against his arch nemesis, Josh Crash Davis, and the Milwaukee Brewers. These two guys go at it every day. They love each other, but Lanny has been rubbing it in pretty good. So I don't know, Crash. What do you have to say to Lanny? He can't talk back. You can give him the business.
The Brewers have been for probably, I don't know, 5 years, I would say, Jose Quintana's kryptonite a lot of times. Not every time, but the last time they faced him, he gave up 4 runs. Ryan Braun used to just absolutely kill him whenever he'd face him.
Yeah,
and it's just kind of been a thing in the history of the Brewers and the Cardinals, and the history of Brewers and Quintana rather, that they've gotten to him. And I do like Willy Adames tonight, as well as Hunter Renfroe. I'm not going for a full Brewer stack. If you wanted to, you could throw in Mike Brasso. He's supposed to be leading off for a value play, but don't be surprised if he gives up 3 or 4 runs again. The Brewers got to win this game tonight. The Cardinals won their division last night. They're going to be on a high, a little bit of a hangover, I think. And I think the Brewers win tonight.
Yeah, lefties against the Brewers have been a thing now for a while, though.
Yeah, they have. I know, but for whatever reason, Quintana has not been part of that equation. I mean, they've hit him almost every time they faced him. There's a few times when he was with the Cubs that he got to them, but not very many.
Well, the Cardinals have nothing to play for, and Milwaukee has everything to play for. So that's got to give you a feel that the Brewers are the better side to go here.
I mean, it should be. I mean, there's no reason, like I said, the Cardinals, they were playing for the division last night. Well, that's been clinched. So, and the other thing is, I don't know that they're going to have all their studs in their lineup. We don't have their lineup yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if Arenado and Goldschmidt got the night off.
I think they'll give some guys the night off for sure. There's no doubt about it. Is that if they do come up with some hangover lineup that only has, half the regulars, would you think about the Brewers pitcher here?
Yeah, I would go to Woodruff for sure. I mean, there's some scenarios where I'd probably go to him anyway, but I it's so hard for me to go to Aaron Nola as much as I like him in this matchup, but his ownership is almost 50%. There's just no leverage whatsoever. So
right.
I'm hoping that that'll be the case and they can split some ownership and drive some of that ownership away from Nola a little bit. So, yeah.
All right. Well, I want to I'll break this game down, but as I'm looking in chat, we have some new people in there and I have to greet them because I really felt this 345 time slot was going to eventually grow into something huge. And we have a great group in here and we have some new folks too. So Cedric Bad, I think he was in there once with us. So hello, Cedric. Awesome to have you in here with us. Ty Johnson, how are you, man? Great to have you with us. Earl Tyson, absolutely love to have you with us. Best FanDuel pitchers and the stack on FanDuel. Is that what he's asking, Crash?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So I'll give you those coming up, Earl. We'll give you those. Also, RJ, how you doing? Great to see you in there with us today. Money Marty 24. Is that somebody new?
It is.
That's awesome to see
you guys.
you in there.
Appreciate the content. Yep. Thank you.
My man, the myth and the legend himself, Mr. Derek Wilson, has joined the fray today. Earl Tyson, we said that. Okay, awesome, man. Great to have you guys in here. Hope you're in here with us every day. You know, let's give away a set of tickets right now for the Millie Maker. So if I call your name, anybody that's in here that hasn't said hello, say hello within the next 10 seconds, because once I hit the randomizer, it's only the people that are live in the chat. So we are going to give away two of the Millie Maker, the small ones, but they're a set of tickets. So you get two swings of the bat at the big bucks. All we ask is that you give us a shout out and let us share in the joy when you bring down the million. And also, if your name is called, go to Twitter. It's at DFS Coach Talk, and just send us your PayPal email. Just say, I'm Jim Smith. My PayPal email is jimsmith@gmail.com, and the tickets will be right there for you. And I say that in descriptive reasons because a third of the time we don't have anybody claim their tickets, and I hate to see you not get your tickets. So everybody deserves to play those, and we can't win if we don't play, as they say in the old school. All right, here we go, Crash. The button is pushed. And the winner is Bev. This is Bev. Bev is a multiple winner in our ticket fray here. So congratulations once again. Bev, one for the ladies again. So Bev, congratulations. You've won 2 tickets. Shoot me that info on in Discord, on Twitter. And you know what? At the end of the podcast, Crash, because this is such a big group today, we're going to give away a second set, a bonus set of tickets at the end when we do PrizePicks and Boom Fantasy. Okay. I'm going with Brandon Woodruff today for every reason we talked about earlier. It's everything for the Brewers, nothing for the Cardinals. I think that some of the Cardinals sit, and I will take Woodruff in every lineup. He'll be my key pitcher on FanDuel. I think he goes deep. He's been pitching great, and I really like him. I think his ownership's very fair. I do think once the Cardinals, if it's a lesser lineup, comes out, that it might go up a little bit, but I'm still going with Woodruff, man. I really like him today. So no Cardinals bats for me. On the Brewers side, a couple of guys, one-offs. I'm not going to stack it, but I'm going to see, from a price perspective, who I can fit in there. But I would like to have some representation from the Brewers here. Their lineup is out. It's cut leading off.
Yeah, I know.
So that's tempting.
No yellow.
And then Adames, Renfroe, your buddy Brousseau in the cleanup spot at 2.3K, Crash.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that a lot.
What a great play. Urias, Tellez, Hira, Caratini, and Taylor. So interesting lineup, loaded with righties. Only Tellez, the only lefty in the entire lineup. So Hutch could be in there, Brousseau. You can get, pretty cheap with some of those guys. So I love it.
Right. And Brasso, I just looked it up. He's 571, 4 for 7 against Quintana. So he could be a nice little loan play for sure.
Beautiful. All right, 740. We have the Philadelphia Phillies and the Chicago Cubs. Lowest total on the board, tied with one other game, 6.5, because it's real chilly in Chicago, wind blowing in. My second pitcher, I'm doing 2 pay-up pitchers. And so let me explain this, Crash, because I don't want to get our family here confused. Where I can play Woodruff and Nola together on one of my DraftKings lineup, I'm going for it because there's enough cheap hitters all over the place. Where I have to go with one, probably going to lean Woodruff over Nola on Fanduel because of the ownership, just from a leverage standpoint.
Yeah.
And then where I do the second lineup on Yahoo or on DraftKings, I'm going to slide the cheaper SP2 in there of Taijuan Walker, one matched up with Nola, one matched up with Woodruff. But I can't pass up Aaron Nola in Wrigley with a 10-mile-an-hour wind blowing in from left, 53 degrees. So if you're in Chicago and there's a 10-mile-an-hour wind and it's 53, it feels like 33.
Right.
And 6.5, Vegas knows what they're doing here. And Nola's price is very fair. 9.7 on DraftKings. He's way cheaper than Verlander and
Garrett
Cole. Yeah. So I'll take that. He is 10.3 on Fanduel and only 47 on Yahoo. So that's where I'm saying, guys, Yahoo, I have been smoking. $47 Nola, $47 Woodruff. You're not even paying top dollar. You know, DeGrom the other day was 70, and we have had 65, 63, 47 for Nola, 47 for Woodruff. Run to the bank with that on Yahoo.
Right.
And then we have the youngster that's been impressive early on in his career here, very early, Hayden Wesneski. So what do you feel about this game all the way around? No bats for me, by the way. It's all Nola, and I'm ready to go.
Yeah, same thing. It's between Nola and Woodruff, and I'm leaning Woodruff because of the ownership situation. But like we said, if the Cardinals put out a lineup where they have a bunch of their scrubs in there and not their key guys, I could go up to Nola if he takes away, if that takes away some ownership from him. So,
Yep. David's rolling with the Judge Studs and Duds lineup with me for sure. Tony A, how you doing, man? Glad you're in here with us. Garrett Cole does not like the Jays. They do tee off on him. They homer off of him. There's no question about it. Now, could he strike out 10? Yeah, but let's see if he gives up any runs against this Jays lineup. That will be very interesting. And then I want to answer that question. Who asked me the question about Fanduel? It was a new guy or one of our new folks.
Money Monty.
Is that who it was?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Money Marty, my bad. Money Marty.
So for me, to answer your question, I like either Woodruff at 10.6 or Nola at 10.3 on Fanduel. Those are my two I'm going to go to in my cash and single entries over Verlander and Cole. That's where I'm looking at. And then from a stack perspective, I like the studs and duds with the Yankees. I want to have some Atlanta bats in there. And then I do want exposure to that Baltimore-Boston. The recency of the last two games, blown out bullpens, and I still think there'll be runs in there. So I know that's a pretty wide spread there, but that's what I'm going to be playing is those two pitchers and a smattering of those four teams to make up my lineup. How about you, Crash?
For me, I like Walker as my pitcher. And then on the bat side, I like the Dodgers, who else did I say? The Braves, the Brewers, and the Angels.
Yeah. Angels are getting a lot of love today, a ton of love. And I will say for Walker, by the way, 87 on Fanduel. So it is a real healthy savings from Nola or Woodruff, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Whereas on Yahoo, he's only $5 cheaper than those guys.
Right.
So, yeah. All right. Let's get back to the fun here. Yeah, Tony he's the one that called out this guy before he looked phenomenal. Wisniewski. Tony was talking him up. Yeah.
Yeah, he
So
was.
big shout out here. And he's got great conditions to pitch in. Cold,
sure.
wind in. Everybody's gonna, run to the other side there. But you know what? I'll tell you what, you're not in a bad spot by playing both of them. I mean, I'm all for
definitely.
anybody that's afraid to play two pitchers in the same game. Don't be. I mean, those kind of games are 1-0 and 2-1 all the time, and you can still get plenty of points. And heck, you don't even need a bunch of pitching points. Crash. I cashed with a 3 yesterday.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to live and die by that rule, but yeah,
No.
that's the truth. You did. So.
Living life right to be able to do that.
Pull that off.
Yeah, I will take that one and smile. All right, we've got a lot of games left here. 5 games left. 8-10. It's the Arizona Diamondbacks and Houston Astros. This is the other game that's 6.5. Actually, there's 3 6.5 games. So the run total is going lower and lower at the end of the season here. It's 2.76 implied for the Diamondbacks, 3.74 for the Astros. 2 studs here. Zach Gallen, 9.4K. And I know you've been on him a lot this year. And then Justin Verlander, 10.5. And those lineups are out as well. What do you think about this game, Crash?
Yeah, I mean, I do like Zach Gallen, but not going to him against the Astros. But yeah, I don't want to go to either side of this game. I respect the pitching. I think it's going to be the lowest scoring game of the night. 2-0, 2-1, something like that wouldn't surprise me at all. I think it's going to be a very low scoring game.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I like both pitchers a lot. I mean, this is such a great pitching slate tonight of guys. I mean, there'd be times where we'd be flooding the Gallen and Verlander here, but Houston's lineup is too good, and that stadium is too easy to hit in my opinion. So I can't quite get to Gallen. I like him, but I can't quite get there. And then my problem with Verlander is I just don't know how deep he's going to go. I mean, Houston has absolutely nothing to play for. So, you just don't know if that's going to cost him a couple of innings. I know that, he can get there in a shorter amount of time than most guys can, but I don't particularly want to pay those gigantic numbers and then have him, get yanked early. So I'm not going to go to anybody in this game and just hope somehow it's one of those weird 4-3 games and nobody scores much of anything.
As far as it could be, I really do.
3-2, 4-3, and just slide by this game like it didn't happen. That's my goal.
Yep, I'm with you.
All right, we go to the late games, and we have a 4-game late slate, so we may do an after hours. I won't promise it tonight because I may try to get a little extra rest and get healthy here. I don't know what the heck's going on.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say I'm not going to do that.
You got to leave in the morning.
I got to be up at like 5:30. So.
Oh, okay, no problem. I may do it if usually I'll not chase. So if I'm not doing as great in the early games, a big thing to learn is don't double up, don't chase, don't do that. That's always a no-no. But if I'm doing decent in the first and I like how it's rolling, I'll jump on and throw a few bonus lineups in there in Discord for our members. But after last night, my God, I didn't even hit the buttons fast enough. I hit the after hours lineup and I'm -8 something. And I'm like, what the hell happened?
Yeah, that was insane last night.
Good Lord. So hopefully, maybe we'll be able to change it around. But anyway, of those 4 after hours slate games, the first one is Oakland and Los Angeles Angels. Angels getting a lot of love in the stack side of things. I mean, not chalky, but they're up there. 82 degrees, warm in LA, 8.5 total, 3.58 for the A's, 4.92 for the Angels. Adrian Martinez, 6K, Michael Lorenzen, 6.2. Go for it.
Yeah, as I mentioned, I do like the Angels. I think, they're pretty highly owned though. So I may end up going away from them a little bit by the time lock hits, which is not too far from now. And I'll probably maybe use Lorenzen actually in a GPP as my pitcher.
Wow.
If the A's are getting that much ownership. I mean, at some point, they've hit Sandoval, they've hit DeGrom. Wouldn't it just kind of be like DFS for them to struggle against a guy like Lorenzen? So that's kind of my thinking there.
And even though we're saying they're chalk, they're not. I mean, I don't know if you want to call it chalk. They're highest.
No, they're not chalk, but they're highly owned.
13% on DraftKings, 15% on Fanduel, and 10% on Yahoo. So those don't sound like very impressive numbers, but because all of the ownership is spread out everywhere, they are top 2 on all 3 sites.
Right. Yeah.
So I get the leverage play. It makes sense.
Yeah.
And the A's smashed DeGrom. I'm still trying to get over that shell
it's
shock.
Unbelievable. They said that he hadn't allowed more than 3 runs in 3 years, and he allowed, I think, 4 runs in the first 2 innings.
I know, I couldn't believe it. But if the A's can hit him, maybe all of a sudden they've got this second life. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that may have happened against Sandoval, and they go silent tonight. I mean, I don't know. I don't think Lorenzen's that great of a pitcher, but just at some point regression's gonna hit, and the A's are gonna stop hitting like that. So
yeah. Well, for me, because I'm paying up mostly for pitching a lot, I'm not going to be able to get to Trout and Ohtani. I always look at Rengifo though, because he's just so steady and his price is always fair.
Yeah.
And Taylor Ward's had a ton of pop the last month, and he's cheap as a cleanup hitter too.
I was looking though. Rengifo's 4,400 on DraftKings now. I mean,
that's not bad.
It's not bad, but it's not really a value. We were getting him at 20 something before.
Oh yeah, I mean he's come up, no doubt about it. But he is leading off now too.
Right.
And but Ward at 4.2. I mean, those guys are fair. When you look at Trout at 6 and Ohtani at 6.2, makes those guys look a little bit more palatable. But
for sure.
And then all the guys in the bottom of their lineup are basically free. They're all like 2K, but good luck with those guys. So I certainly wouldn't go to either one of these pitchers myself personally, but I don't really trust the hitting other than Trout and Ohtani, and I don't want to spend up for it. So a one-off Angel for me is probably all I'm going to get here.
Who's kind of hot for their lineup right now is Levon Soto.
He's batting 9th.
Yeah. 3 for 4, 5 for 5, 3 for 4, 3 for 4. Like he's really,
that's unbelievable.
Like ridiculous. Yeah.
Their lineup's not official. Maybe they'll move him up in the lineup. He certainly deserves it hitting like that.
Yeah. But if you can get an Angel stack and get, a guy like that in there, it'll really help you offset the leverage.
I'll bet you $20 flat out. The second you put him in your lineup, he goes 0 for 5.
He goes 0 for 5.
No doubt. All right, let's move to the next one. 9:40, Texas Rangers at the Seattle Mariners. This is the final 6.5 run game, and it is in Seattle, where it's 2.90 implied for the Rangers, 3.60 for the Mariners. Martin Perez, the lefty, 8.7K against George I Suck Kirby vacuum cleaner, man, because we played him that day and he was the worst pitcher on the slate. Yeah. But he's 8.4K and he's getting ownership tonight, Crash.
I know, and it makes me want to go to some of these Texas bats, but it is a pitcher's ballpark. It is Texas, so I don't really know that I trust them. I don't think that Josh Young's going to have a game like he did last night.
I've been playing him on and off too, and I couldn't pull the trigger last night.
Yeah. Corey Seager, is he in the lineup? I show him.
It's not official yet. I think he's hurt.
Yeah, he got hit by that pitch. I don't know if he's going to be in the lineup. Which, if he's not in their lineup, then I definitely don't want to go to Texas. So
I agree. Let's see here. So nice, Earl Tyson, man. That makes me feel great. That days like this when you don't feel that great and you're a little dragging, to hear some positive words like that means a ton. It really does. So appreciate that. And basketball season, brother. October 16th, Crash's birthday. We start we start NBA. So we have the NBA pricing and membership coming out tomorrow too, by the way. But thank you, Earl, for the positive words. Anything else that I miss in here?
So for this game, Coach, I do want to point out I like the two H's, Haniger and Haggerty, for Seattle. I like those guys a little bit. Yeah.
Not bad. Not bad. I want to say hello to King Moses. What's up, man? Great to see you in here. Really love the crowd today and the group. A lot of energy. I'm feeling it. I think this is going to be a big night for us. Yeah, I mean, this game just pretty nondescript to me. I mean, I think Seager's going to be out, but let's see what this lineup looks like. You know, Nathaniel Lowe is always tempting against a righty, but 3.6 is fair. He'd be the one guy I'd look at for me on the Rangers side. And then on Seattle, maybe Haniger. He's come through for us. Suarez can always knock one out too.
True.
I think Perez has had a good year for him, but I always think he's, a game away from getting blown up. So
right.
Wouldn't mind grabbing a Seattle bat here or two.
I'm with you.
All right. Final two games, Crash. 9:40, LA Dodgers, San Diego Padres, 75 degrees in San Diego. Perfect night like normal there. 7.5 is the total. 4 implied for the Dodgers, 3.5 for the Padres. Julio Urias, the lefty, 9.2K against my buddy Junk Ball Joey Musgrove, 8.9K for the Padres.
Yep. I like the Dodgers. Freeman Muncy and Justin Turner are my favorites. But I think after what happened last night, they blew that game in extra innings. They should have won it. And I think they bounced back tonight against Joe Musgrove, who they've had quite a bit of success against, at least some of the bats, like the ones that I mentioned in this lineup. So,
absolutely. My HR call is Justin Turner, Crash.
Okay, nice.
He's 6 for 14. Small sample size for the new folks. We do believe in BVP here, even if it's small. I mean, we don't overdo it, but we do believe in it. So he's 6 for 14 against him, and he's walked against him as well. So he sees the ball well out of Musgrove's hand. He's got 3 extra base hits, and guess what? They're all home runs.
Yeah.
So 3 home runs and 14 at bats against him for a nice, sweet 1571 OPS, 1071 slugging, 500 OBP, and that 429 average. So I do like Turner in there. And the reason Joe Musgrove is one of my big fade pitchers today is some of these other guys kill him too. Freeman's 400 against him. Muncy's 450, like you said. So he's got a lot of hot hitters against him in this lineup. I also think Trey Turner's in a great spot tonight against Musgrove. So I do like the Dodgers side. Little mini stack of the Dodgers late. Definitely have a lot of them in my after hours, but I like some Dodgers in this matchup. And the odd thing about it is I don't really like Urias or Urena either. I don't think he's all, that special of a, am I saying, what
Urias, you had it right.
Urena's pitching in the next game. And I always mess those two guys up, which is considering they're almost the same name. It makes perfect sense. But, I don't mind bats on the other side here either. The problem is, where do you want to go where you don't have to break the bank? That's the problem. I don't want to pay 5.7 for Soto and 5.4 Machado. And I know a lot of people are going to Machado, and I get it, but and Drury's expensive. So a one-off probably for the Padres is the best I can do. But I do like the Dodgers bats tonight.
Yeah, if you could afford it, I mean, Machado would be the guy that I would play, but like you said, it's so hard to get to him. The other guy that I like is not Profar. Who is it? Let me see. Look at the lineup.
Josh Bell, Will Myers,
Brandon Drury.
4.8 though.
Yeah, he's a little expensive, but
yeah,
I think that people could probably get to him. So, but I'd probably play Justin Turner over him, honestly. And
remember, the Dodgers have nothing to play for. Their pitchers aren't going to go extra either. They'll get those guys out of there. That's why I don't think Urias is playable either, in my opinion.
Yeah.
All right, final game. Before we get to that game, let me check in here. One more thing here. All right, I don't see anybody else jumping in. If you're in here, make sure you comment, because after this game, we'll give away the second set of tickets for sure. All right. This last game on the slate is the Colorado Rockies and the San Francisco Giants. And it is Jose Urena, just to mess me up, Julio Urias and Jose Urena, two guys with the initials JU on the same slate. It is 8.5 total in this game in San Fran, 63 cool degrees. Swirling wind blowing out to left at 16 miles an hour. You got, again, Jose Urena at 5.1K. And Sean, how do you pronounce this name, Crash? Hjelle. Any clue?
Helly, I think.
Helly?
Mm-hmm.
The J silent?
Silent, yeah.
All right, we'll try that. So Mr. Helly at 5.8K for the Giants. And again, 8.5 total, 3.76 implied for Colorado, 4.74 for the Giants. Any action for you in this game?
Yeah, I like some of the lefties on San Francisco here. Wade, if he's in the lineup, I wanted to play him last night. He wasn't in the lineup.
Right.
Wade, Peterson, Crawford, and you could go with either Yastrzemski or Flores, one of those two. But yeah, I do like some of these Giants bats. I don't think Urena is very good at all. He was with the Brewers early this year, and I just thought he was absolutely terrible. He had a couple good games with the Rockies when he first got there, and he just kind of regressed to being terrible again. So
I'm with you.
Yeah.
My BVP play is in this game, and it's Jock Peterson. He's a smooth 9 for 15, just batting 600 against him. That's all.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, 1625 OPS, 1,000 slugging, 625 OBP, and 600 average. I'll take my chances with that.
Yeah, really.
So, yeah, I think he's a good play. Batting right in the middle of that lineup, probably batting cleanup. Maybe one other bat there, but this game doesn't excite me that much. It's always tough, to hit the ball there in San Fran. Just such giant areas in that center field area, just can't get it out of there with the cool temperatures in the marine layer. So not going to go to either pitcher, but not diving on the bats. One guy from San Fran, or maybe two at the most for me.
Yeah. My BVP play, because I don't think I gave either one of these. BVP play is Justin Turner, so he was your home run call.
Oh, and you're a copycat.
And then my home run call is Shohei Ohtani. So
Shohei, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so let's review our selections, our pay ups and downs, and all that fun stuff. You want to go first, Crash?
Yeah, my pitcher is Taijuan Walker on Fanduel, and then on DraftKings it's either Woodruff or Nola and Walker. And then my fade pitcher is Garrett Cole. My BVP is Justin Turner. Home run call Shohei Ohtani. Stacks Dodgers, Braves, and slight portion of the Angels and Brewers. So,
and I'll tell you this: the theme has been more this week that we've agreed on stuff more than we disagree, which is amazing because usually we're on completely opposite ends of the table here. But tons of stuff the same again today. My three favorite pitchers are paying up for Nola and Woodruff, and my value top pitcher is Walker as well. So we're all over the same pitchers there. I'm fading Verlander and Cole just because of their price. And I think, I don't know how deep Verlander goes.
Yeah.
And Toronto does have a tendency to smack some home runs off of Cole. My stacks, again, Yankees in Atlanta, and a little bit from the Baltimore-Boston game. So all my hitting is going to be early. My BVP is Peterson in that game against Urena. And then Justin Turner, although I like the Turner brothers, Justin and Trey, possibly going deep against Junk Ball Joe tonight.
I like it, Coach.
All right. We'll close with giving away the tickets. How about we do our prize picks plays, Crash?
Still got to do our two brains lineup too.
Oh my God, we do.
Yeah.
Okay. I forgot we're doing a two brains are better than one GPP lineup build. That's the nice thing about doing this at this time too. We don't have to race to try to beat the clock.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So let's do prize picks and boom,
Okay.
and then we'll give away the tickets and finish with our lineup.
Okay. My prize picks plays are Taijuan Walker over 5 strikeouts and Willy Adames over 6 fantasy score.
I have Taijuan Walker over 33.5 fantasy score. I think I have him projected at 36.5. And I think that's a big number today.
Yeah.
And I have Trey Turner over 7.5 fantasy score as my other play.
Okay.
How about Boom Fantasy?
Boom, I've got Taijuan Walker again, this time over 4.5 strikeouts. I don't know why that number is so low. He had 10 last time he faced them.
I know.
And then Willy Adames over 0.5 singles. So I know he has to hit specifically a single to get that, but I do think he hits a single.
Okay. I am going to go with a couple of dog and a couple of pitchers here. I'm going to, on Boom Fantasy, I'm going over 4.5 hits allowed for Rich Hill. I think he can give up that many in an inning.
Yeah.
And then I have,
I can see it for sure.
Yeah. I have under Joe Musgrove 5.5 strikeouts. I have him projected as 4 because I think he gets smacked around tonight.
Yeah, I like it.
All right. I'm going to push the button on the randomizer. If you don't want to stick around, you don't play Fanduel, and you don't want our free GPP Two Brains lineup, you may want to slug on down the road after we pick these tickets. All right, the winner of the second set of tickets, and again, as soon as we call your name, we would ask that you would shoot us a DM on Twitter at DFS Coach Talk. The winner is Cedric Bad. Cedric Bad, not too bad, because you won 2 tickets to the Millie Maker on Sunday for the NFL. Send us the info on Twitter, and that is awesome. So we'll start building this lineup, Crash, and I want to say real quickly, if you're watching here, if you haven't done it yet, please do me a favor. Hit the thumbs up on YouTube. That really, really helps us. It helps us move up the algorithm, get some people in that wouldn't normally see us because we're going to be up on the search list. So hit the thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, especially the new folks that joined us today, hit the subscribe button and then click the little alert in the upper corner. This way, you know when any of our podcasts post. We do a 7-day-a-week MLB podcast. We do a 7-day-a-week NBA podcast. And we're hitting you with 2 good NFL pods every week. Thursday at 6:50 for that game night on Thursday. And then we do our giant Saturday night at 8 p.m. Eastern football podcast for the entire day for Sunday. So definitely want to hit those. Thank you again, Ty, for joining in, man. And Todd, live for Sunday. Now that I got that down pat. Crash, you can have the first pick, my friend.
Okay. Let me go ahead and take Taijuan Walker.
Okay.
This is a GPP, right?
This is a GPP. That is correct, sir.
Okay.
I am going to take third baseman Justin Turner.
I like it. I will take his little teammate Max Muncy, second base.
Muncy at second. All right. I need to save us a few bucks here. So I am going to go $2,600 outfielder Jock Peterson.
I like it.
My BVP call today.
I'm going to save us some more money and go to the utility spot with Mr. Brasso.
Yeah. I like it.
That is $3,800 a person for
You know what that means, don't you?
Yeah, I know what that means.
Here comes the judge, baby.
Yeah.
Here comes the judge. 5K, bang. He's in there.
Okay. I'll take Willie Adames at shortstop.
Okay. I am going to go, let's see, we have a catcher / first baseman and an outfielder, and we got a lot of money left too.
Oh, we do.
Let's see here. You know what? I'm going to take Vladdy.
Okay.
Against Cole.
Okay.
He's homered off him before.
Yeah, I like it.
Big stick up top. That still gives you 2,800. That's enough.
Yeah. Let me take Mitch Haniger.
He's priced too cheap.
Mm-hmm. So we're done. That's it.
Man, we
rolled
through this.
Blew through that thing.
Why can't I find Mitch Haniger? What did I do wrong here? Okay. I was on the Yankees there. Sorry.
Oh.
Okay, so perfect. Man, I love this lineup, dude. I might play this in my single entry as well.
Yeah.
All right, here is our two brains are better than one FanDuel GPP for the night. Tyon Walker, Vladdy Guerrero, Max Muncy, Justin Turner, Willie Adames, Jock Peterson, Aaron Judge, Mitch Haniger, and Mike Brasso.
Yeah.
Sorry, Bruce. However you want to say it, as long as he homers. And what would be nice, Crash, is if we get 61 from Judge on the night he was in our two brains line.
That would be awesome.
And, you know, every time throughout this season when you would dog Judge after getting a 0 a couple of games and you'd sit him, he would always homer.
I know.
So that's why I think this is the night.
Yeah, I hope so.
All right, my friends, this was a lot of fun. Love the giant group in here. Really appreciate all of you. If you hit that thumbs up on the way out, if you want to become a member at Coach Talk, go to dfscoachtalk.com. If you're watching on Twitter, please like and retweet. And also, when you're back in here throughout any of our podcasts, don't forget we've only got 3 days left. If we super chat, anything that goes into the super chat pool goes into our charity of choice, which is our man David Dulac's choice of Operation Hope. So any of those are welcome. Also, don't forget to get into Crash's weekly members tournament. You want to tell people about that real quick on the way out for our new people?
Yeah, so we run a weekly contest on DraftKings. It's a $5 entry fee. It's set to I think 30 members. But you know, we can increase or decrease the size automatically now that we know how to do that. We had an issue with that last week and apologize to everyone that entered and wasn't able to compete in that contest, but we've got everything set. It's a private contest, so it won't be in the lobby. So none of the sharks will be able to see it. And we will have that link in our Discord, and we will also post it on Twitter. So
absolutely. And tomorrow, if please join Deb and I. We're going to be here at 45 minutes earlier than tonight just for this one time because Deb's availability. She's going to fill in for Crash tomorrow, and she and I will be on at 3 p.m. Eastern. So hit that little alert button so you don't miss out for sure. And Crash, we're going to miss you this week, man. It's going to be weird. So safe travels to you. Have a wonderful time. Definitely hit me up and let me know. See if we can connect sometime this weekend. We'll give it a shot.
Sounds good. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens this week with the team. You know, I'll be keeping up with all that for sure. So,
all right. Well, it's going to be a great night tonight. It's going to probably be a 4.5 crown slate for me. I'm just saying on the 1 to 5 crown slate ranking that we give it. I really like this slate. I think we're going to have a good night.
I do too. I really feel good about it.
All right, my friends, appreciate it. And thank you, everybody, for joining in and staying with us throughout the entire thing. And make sure the winners of the tickets shoot us that note on Twitter. Have a great day, and definitely let's absolutely take some stuff down tonight. And then Deb and I will be back tomorrow when we look to crush it in MLB, DFS, Prize Picks, and Boom Fantasy.